Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be talking about the releasing of J.J. Watt from the Houston Texans. This is big news because J.J. Watt was one of the biggest trade, rumors around the league. Where's he gonna go? And now we know exactly what's gonna happen. Instead of being traded on a $17.5 million contract, the Houston Texans released $17.5 million from their cap, and J.J. Watt can sign for whatever he wants with whatever team. Doesn't matter what draft capital now. It's just up to J.J. Watt. So I'm going over the top 3 or 5 teams I think have a chance of signing him. If you do enjoy this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. All my links are in the description. My TikTok, my Twitch, my Snapchat, my Instagram. When you hit subscribe, hit that bell icon so you can get notified whenever I upload. And let's get into this. So, obviously, J.J. Watt is 31 years old. He's never won a Super Bowl. So I think immediately his top 5 teams are contenders right now. And at number 5, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, a lot of people thought, the Steelers, people will think the Steelers going to be number 1 just because both of his brothers are on the team. The problem is the Steelers have negative $19 million in cap. They still got Big Ben's huge contract. They still have offensive linemen that just retired. Marquise Pouncey just retired. Alongside his brother Mike Pouncey, which is really nice. I like seeing that. They both retired at the same time. That's really sweet. But they lost one of their star O linemen. All the other O linemen are really old and aging or are free agents. They don't have a running game. Juju's a free agent, which I don't think really matters. I think they have a wide receiver core, but their defense, Bud Dupree needs to get paid. Their secondary needs to be addressed with Mike Hilton being a free agent, and also Joe Hayden can be cut, might be due to the cap casualty. So I think it's going to be very hard for the Steelers to be able to negotiate with him, saying like, hey, we know these other teams are offering you $5, $6, $7 million. We can offer you veteran minimum, $1 million. That's all we can offer because we're so far in debt and we have so many other issues. So I think right there is gonna be a problem for them because what are you gonna be able to do? There's not much you're gonna be able to do unless J.J. Watt really just wants to play with his brothers. And I don't think the Steelers are gonna be winning a ring this year. I think they're probably one of the least, they might make the playoffs. They might. I think they'll go more 8-8 this year, 7-9. But if they do make the playoffs, they're one of the least teams that are going to be voted on to win the playoffs. So I think the only reason he would sign there is to play with his brothers. And that's what he wants. Go ahead. JJ, if you want to play with TJ and Derek, I'm all for it. That's awesome. I'd love to see 3 brothers on the same team. But yeah, that's why I have Steelers at number 5. Number 4, I have the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Buffalo Bills are an up-and-coming team. They were just in the AFC Championship game. They were just, 1 game away from making the Super Bowl since the 90s. I'm rooting for the Bills. I'm a Browns fan, but man, the Bills deserve a win. The Bills and the Browns, the two of the franchises, deserve Super Bowls at this point. The Bills' biggest problem was pass rush. They got no pass rush. They had no run game, and they had no pass rush. That was the big 2 problems on their team this year. You can easily get a really competent running back in the draft. I don't know if you'll be able to get a really competent pass rusher in this draft, especially without a combine and, really good pro days. So I think if they could sign J.J. Watt, that'd be amazing for their pass rush. They have $4 million in cap, and they're able to, free that up with free agents leaving and getting cut a couple guys. They got Jerry Hughes and Mario Edwards at both their pass rushing spots. If they want to cut one of those dudes, or if they want to restructure contracts to be able to sign J.J. Watt, I think this team would immediately become a Super Bowl favorite. Right now, I still think they're a year or 2 away with their current roster. I don't think they're gonna win it in 2021. 2022. I don't think they're gonna win it in 2022. But if they can get J.J. Watt, I think that increases the value of their team to a Super Bowl. I think the floor of the season is raised if Josh Allen can continue to develop. If this pass rush with J.J. Watt can then actually get pressure and help out Trey White in that secondary, because there was a lot of the problems that Trey White in that secondary were doing so much this season that they were getting burned sometimes, especially in the AFC Championship game. They were getting little to no pressure on Patrick Mahomes, so he was able to just dice apart that defense. So I just think getting a good pass rusher, an elite pass rusher, is what this team is missing on the defensive side for making a really deep and good Super Bowl run. Number 3, I have the Cleveland Browns. That's right. My boys, the Cleveland Browns, they have $30 million in cap this year. That is at a minimum of $175 million of the cap. They still have $30 million. They really just need to fix their defense. You need to re-sign Wyatt Teller on the offense and Rashard Higgins on the offense. And besides that, everyone is locked down for the next couple of years. There's not a single free agent that matters on the offense besides Wyatt Teller and Rashard Higgins. So you got to focus heavy on the defense during the draft and free agency. And if you can get J.J. Watt alongside Myles Garrett and Sheldon Richardson, and if you can draft a defensive tackle, or if you can just get a younger defensive tackle, I think that's what you need to do. And J.J. Watt can play defensive tackle, he can play defensive end, he can play either side of the line, interior, either side of the line. J.J. Watt is versatile, and I would love to see what Joe Woods can do with him. I think that can bring a lot of help from Myles Garrett. He's constantly being held with 2 or 3 people, 2 linemen, and a chip blocker in the running back. If Myles Garrett can get, elite help alongside him or on the other side, like, whether he's next to Myles Garrett or on the other side of Myles Garrett on the line, I think J.J. Watt and Myles Garrett would be a crazy duo that this AFC North and the AFC would be scared of. I think this would immediately put you in Super Bowl contention. Their Super Bowl window is the next 2 years because everyone is either on their rookie contracts or during their contracts are really cheap. Like Kareem Hunt, his contract comes up in 2 years. Same with Baker Mayfield, Denzel Ward, Nick Chubb. All the really big pieces of your team are about to be free agents in a couple years. So your window is really the next 2 years. Stack up this defense as much as you can. That was the problem. This defense couldn't stop anything. Whenever they were winning a game, they go into prevent defense. And, we saw that happen with the Steelers in Week 17 and in the playoffs. We saw it with, what other team was it? The Jaguars. We were up big, and they started making a comeback when they went into a prevent defense because that's what Joe Woods does. You got to help your secondary out. When you're not getting enough pass rush, you're not getting enough pressures on the quarterback to make him throw uncomfortable throws, then you just dice apart any defense. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is, what the defense is. If your secondary is asked to cover for too long without getting any pressure, they will eventually let up a big play. So I think if J.J. Watt can get alongside Myles Garrett, that'd be a scary duo. I think immediately that is the best 1-2 punch on the defensive line in the league. Purely defensive line, not with linebackers. Just purely if they run a 4-3, that is a crazy pass rush with those two. Number 2, I have obviously the Kansas City Chiefs. If he really wants a ring chase, I think he needs to sign with the Chiefs or the next team on the list. The Chiefs obviously have been in the Super Bowl the last 2 years. Alongside Frank Clark and Chris Jones, there's not really another pass rusher that can get to the quarterback. So all you gotta do is you double both those dudes, have a chip blocker on another defensive end, and you one-on-one the rest of the defensive line. You can get pretty good coverage. Their secondary is a little weak outside of Tyrann Mathieu, and their corners are decent. So if you can just hold off their pass rush long enough, you're gonna get someone open. So I'd be very weary about what they're gonna do to help out that secondary, whether it's a linebacker core or more pass rush. I think J.J. Watt would sign here in an instant if they offered him any amount of money. Sadly, though, this is the problem. The Chiefs are currently negative $18 million in the cap, and they have a lot of free agents. For example, they have a couple of linebackers that are free agents. I believe a couple of offensive members are free agents, like Sammy Watkins is. I believe their 3rd, 4th, and 5th receiver are. Their offensive linemen, Laurent Darvenet, the Canadian doctor, he's a free agent who opted out to help with COVID in Canada. He's a free agent. You got to pay Mitchell Schwartz. You got to pay Eric Fisher. And that's the problem, that they have a lot of free agents. So, again, this is another situation that if he wants to sign for a veteran minimum to go for either a personal reason or a ring, this is the team to go. Except for number 1, which is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This just makes sense, Ndamukong Suh is a free agent. I don't know if they want to re-sign him. If they can get J.J. Watt over Ndamukong Suh, I would take that in an instant. Or if you can get them both, even better. But they have a lot of free agents on the defensive side. Levante David, JPP has 1 more year. Ndamukong Suh, obviously. I believe Willie Golston is also a free agent who is a starting defensive end. If you can get J.J. Watt in that defensive line alongside that linebacker core and that secondary, I think he'd love it. I think JJ Watt could have a career year next year. He had 20.5 sacks his second year in the season. I think he could probably get around 18 or 19 sacks if he was on that defensive line this year. Imagine next year, another year with that system. I don't know who, I don't know how you would be able to stop the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady would just easily walk into another Super Bowl. I'm excited. JJ Watt, I really hope you sign with a couple of these teams. Again, I'm going to go 5-1. Number 5, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 4, the Buffalo Bills. Number 3, the Cleveland Browns. Number 2, the Kansas City Chiefs. And then number 1, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If he signs with the Bucks, man, that's a free reign. That's a guaranteed reign. The Chiefs, it could be a battle. But if he signs with the Buccaneers, that is a guaranteed reign, bro. That's just crazy. That's crazy. But if you guys did enjoy, obviously, I try my hardest. I woke up to the news that JJ Watt was released. I immediately hopped on my computer, I clicked recording. None of this is scripted. None of this is thought out. This is all off the top of my head. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you did enjoy. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so whenever I upload a video, you will be notified. Comment down below. Thank God he's out. If you want, I'll leave a little heart. Again, all my links are in the description. Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitch, where I stream 2 hours every single night playing games. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Bye.